Welcome to all in my YouTube channel Mathematics with Sachin. This is lecture series on inventory management and this is fifth lecture on inventory management. In this lecture we discuss model 1C, inventory model 1C, the economic lot size model with finite rate of replenishment, EOQ production model, and some examples on it. Model 1C, economic lot size model with finite rate of replenishment, EOQ production model. Question: let C1 is holding cost per item per unit time, C2 is infinity, that is shortages are not allowed, R the number of items required per unit time, K number of items produced per unit time, that is production rate is finite, uniform and greater than R. R is demand rate and K is production rate. Then T time interval between production cycles. Then Q is equals to R into T, that is number of units produced per production run. C3, it is setup cost per cycle. Period is T is equals to T1 plus T2. Find the expressions for optimal order quantity, reorder point and minimum average cost per unit time. This is the given terms and we have to find out these three terms, these three expressions: optimal order quantity, reorder point and minimum average cost per unit time. Now this is the diagram or figure for this model. At the start, as time goes, the production rate is this, the rate of growing, production is running as well as demand is also running, so rate of growing is K minus R. As soon as the production will be exist, then demand will also completed. But after time T1, the production is stopped and only consumption of items will be exist. So this is the rate of consumption. In this case, in this time interval T2, no any production to be exist, so this consumption rate will be R as per the demand rate. So this is the total height Q, this is the demand growing rate, that is K minus R, this is the consumption rate, that is R, and this is the stock level Q, and these are the time intervals T1 and T2. In the time interval T1 there exist demand also exist and production rate is also exist. So rate of growing is K minus R. K is demand rate and K is production rate and R is demand rate. So the rate of growing is K minus R. But in the time interval T2, no production will be takes place, only consumption will be exist. That means just we have to completion of the demand at the up to this point B. The total time interval from O to B, that is total T, and that T is nothing but T1 plus T2. And with these terms we have to find out these three terms. Now we discuss all these terms. Just memorize this figure so that the next point will be clear out. Okay. Solution: in this model, each production cycle time T consists of two parts, T1 and T2, where T1 is period during which the stock is growing at the rate K minus R items per unit time. T2 is the period during which there is no replenishment or supply or production, but there is a constant demand at the rate of R. Further, we assume that Q is the stock available at the end of time T1, which is expected to be consumed during the remaining time period T2 at the consumption rate or demand rate R. From figure, capital Q is equals to K minus R into T1 and capital Q is equals to R into T2. Then T1 is equals to Q divided by K minus R and T2 is equals to Q divided by R. Therefore, T is equals to T1 plus T2. Now put these values of T1, T2 in this expression. We get T is equals to Q divided by K minus R plus Q divided by R. Then cross multiply. That Q take common. Then we get into bracket 1 upon K minus R plus 1 upon R. Cross multiply. We get Q into bracket R plus K minus R divided by R into K minus R. R gets cancelled out. T is equals to K into Q divided by R into K minus R. Equation number 1. From equation 1, capital Q is equals to R into K minus R divided by K into T. Just we transfer this into reverse order. We get the value of Q here. Then just rearrange the term K minus R divided by K into R into T. But R into T is nothing but small q. Therefore, capital Q is equals to K minus R divided by K into small q. That Q is nothing but R into T. So, we put this value here. This is equation number 2. Then, holding cost for the period T is equals to area of triangle O and B. That means that total triangle starting O, then N and then B. The height of this is OB and length is base is OB and height is M into N. Then 1 by 2 base into height. So we substitute the values. OB is total time interval T and Mn is height Q, that is capital Q, then multiplied by C1. So holding cost is 1 by 2 TQ C1. The setup cost for the period T is C3. Therefore, the total cost is holding cost for period T plus setup cost for period T. Total it will be 1 by 2 TQC1 plus C3. No any shortages cost for this model. So, no any C2. Only C1 and C3. Now, total average cost is equals to total cost divided by T. Here total cost is 1 by 2 TQC1 plus C3 divided by T. Separate it out, we get 1 by 2 Q into C1 plus C3 upon T, equation number 3. Then this total average cost can be written in the form of C of Q is equals to 1 by 2 QC1 plus C3 upon T. But C is the cost is a function of Q, function of quantity. So we have to convert it into Q format. Here no any Q, we have to convert it into Q format. How to convert? But we know that capital Q is equals to K minus R divided by K into Q. So we put this value in this first expression, and also we know that Q is equals to R into T, that implies T is equals to Q upon R, that we put here. So this expression will becomes a function of Q. As then we have CQ is equals to C1 upon 2 K minus R divided by K into Q plus C3 upon Q upon R. Just simplify this. We get CQ is equals to C1 K minus R upon 2K into Q plus C3 R upon Q. Equation number 4. This is cost equation. Now, for minimum cost, its a derivative with respect to Q is equals to 0. That means we have to find out its the first derivative with respect to Q. This C1 K minus R divided by 2K is constant. Derivative of Q with respect to Q is 1 plus C3R as it is. Derivative of 1 upon Q is minus 1 upon Q square. We take it is equals to 0. Equation number 5. Then just simplify this. We get C1 K minus R divided by 2K minus C3R upon Q square is equals to 0. Transfer this negative term, we get C1 K minus R upon 2K is equals to C3R upon Q square. Then we have to find out the value of Q square is equals to 2C3RK divided by C1 into K minus R. taking square root on both sides, q is equals to under root of 2c3 rk divided by c1 into k minus r, equation number 6. Now this gives the quantity, but we have to check out is this value is minimum or maximum, and for that we have to find out the second derivative of this cost equation. That is, we have to differentiate equation number 5 again with respect to q. That is d2c by dq square is equals to d by dq into dc by dq. Substitute the value of dc by dq. We get d by dq of c1 k minus r divided by 2k minus c3 r upon q square. This will be the totally constant term, derivative of, because no any term of q in this expression, so its derivative with respect to q is 0. C3r is constant as it is, with negative sign we have to take it outside. Then the remaining term is 1 upon q square. Derivative of 1 upon q square is minus 2 upon q cube. Now this minus minus becomes plus. Therefore d2c by dq square is equals to 2c3r upon q cube. Now c3 is setup cost, it cannot be negative. R is demand rate, it is always positive, and q is the quantity, it is also a positive term. So this total term will be a positive term. That means second derivative is positive. If second derivative of c with respect to q is positive, obviously the cost, the value of q will be optimum value, that gives the optimum lot size q star, as q star is equals to under root of 2c3 rk divided by c1 into k minus r. That means what we have to get the quantity q when we take first derivative is equals to 0, that quantity gives optimum lot size. That q star is equals to under root of 2c3 rk divided by c1 into k minus r, equation number 7. Now to find optimum time interval, we have t star is equals to q star upon r, because we know that q is equals to r into t. Now just we have to substitute the value of optimum quantity, therefore we get optimum time as t star is equals to q star upon r. Substitute the value of q star, we get this expression. Then we transfer this 1 upon r into under square root, so we get t star is equals to under root of 2c3 rk divided by c1 into k minus r into r square. Now when r will get cancelled out, obviously we get t star is equals to under root of 2c3k divided by c1 into k minus r into r, equation number 8. That gives the optimum time interval. Then we have to find out the minimum cost. That means we have to put the value of that q star in the cost equation. That is c minimum is equals to c1k minus r divided by 2k into q star plus c3r upon q star. Now substitute the value of q star, we get this expression. Then transfer this term which is outside the root, square root term, into square root in both the terms. The term outside of the square root we can transfer into square root, we have to take its square. So the next expression will be c minimum is equals to under root of 2c3 rk upon c1 into k minus r. Here the term in the root as it is, and we transfer this term into under square root, therefore we get c multiplied by c1 square k minus r bracket square divided by 2 square k square. In the second term, just we take 1 upon this root, means it's a reciprocal, therefore plus c3r into under root of c1 k minus r divided by 2 c3 rk. Now some term cancel out, c1 gets cancel out, some 1 k minus r term will cancel out, 1 2 will gets cancel out, k will be cancel out. The remaining term will be c minimum is equals to under root of c1 c3 r into k minus r divided by 2k plus. Now transfer this c3r into square root term, so we get c1 k minus r divided by 2 c3 rk multiplied by c3 square r square. Again in this root c1 c3 and 1 r will get cancelled out, and so we get the value of c minimum is equals to under root of c1 c3 r into k minus r divided by 2k plus under root of c1 c3 r into k minus r divided by 2k. Now both the terms will be the same. So it will be C minimum is equals to 2 times under root of C1 C3R into k minus r divided by 2k. Now transfer these 2 into under root sign. So its a square is 4. So it will be C minimum is equals to under root of 4 C1 C3R into k minus r divided by 2k. Again 1 2 will get cancelled out and we get the value of C minimum as 2 C1 C3R into k minus r divided by k. Equation number 9. Just rearrange the term. So we get C minimum is equals to 2 C1 C3R into k minus r divided by k. K separate out, we get this root term as C minimum is equals to under root of 2 C1 C3R into 1 minus r upon k. That will be the theoretical part. Now we have some remarkable notes. First, if k is equals to r, then C minimum is 0. K is equals to r, then C minimum is equal to 0. It will be obvious because if we know the value of C minimum, in that value of C minimum there is a term k minus r divided by k. If k and r equal, obviously it will be 0. So the value of C minimum will be 0. That implies there will be no carrying cost, no setup cost. No carrying cost, no setup cost. Then second remark, if k tends to infinity, that is production value is infinite, then this model is same as model 1a. If the production value is infinite, then this model is nothing but model 1a. That means in this formulas of this model, if we put k is equals to infinity, or we take k is equals to infinity, then we get the formulas as the model 1a. As since C minimum is equals to under root of 2 C1 C3R into k 1 minus r upon k. If k tends to infinity, obviously r upon k will get value as a 0. So it will be the value of C minimum will be k tends to infinity, 1 upon k tends to 0. So r by k tends to 0. So it will be 1 minus 0. So value of C minimum is under root of 2 C1 C3R, and which is same as in model 1a. In this model, setup cost is C3, which is same for model 1a and model 1b, but carrying cost is reduced to 1 minus r upon k is to 1 for minimum cost. But in this model, model 1a, model 1b, there will be setup cost will be the same, but here carrying cost will be reduces. So it will be reduces to 1 minus r by k is to 1 for minimum cost. So it will be like this. Now we solve some examples corresponding to this model. First example, a contractor has to supply 10,000 bearings per day to an automobile manufacturer. He finds that when he starts a production run, he can produce 25,000 bearings per day. The cost of holding a bearing in a stock for 1 year is rupees 20 paisa, and the setup cost of the production run is rupees 180. How frequently should the production be made? Solution. Point out the term in this theoretical point as a contractor has to supply 10,000 bearings per day. Means there is a demand. This statement gives the demand of the bearings. That is, rate of demand is R is equals to 10,000 bearings per day. Also point out the term as in this term as he can produce 25,000 bearings per day. That is the production rate. That is rate of production. It is denoted by K and it is will be 25,000 bearings per day. That is rate of production. Also point out the term as a setup cost of production run is rupees 180. That means we get the value of C3 as rupees 180 per production run. Then we have to find out the C1, and for that we have a statement in the example as the cost of holding a bearing in a stock for 1 year is rupees 20 paisa. if we take a look on this rate of production, rate of demand, these rates are per day and this cost is per year. So first we have to convert this cost C1 is 20 paisa per year. So we have to convert it into per day, and for that it will be 20.25 divided by 365 per bearing per day. It will be C1 is equals to rupees 0.00055. That will be the C1. Now we know all these values. Then we have to find out here optimum lot size, that is Q star. That gives the formula Q star is equals to under root of 2C3 Rk upon C1 into K minus R. Substitute the values. After simplification of these values and taking square root, we get the value of Q star is 1,05,000 bearings approximately. You can calculate this value. We get this value. It is simple calculations. You may calculate yourself. Then we have to find out optimum time interval. Optimum time interval, that is T star is equals to under root of 2C3K divided by C1 into K minus R into R. We put the values of each and every term. After simplification of this, we get the value of T star as 10.4447. That gives the value of T star. Now we take one more example. Second example. In a paint manufacturing unit, each type of paint is to be ground to a specific degree of fineness. The manufacturer uses same ball mill for a variety of paints, and after completion of each batch, the mill has to clean and the ball charge properly made up. The changeover from one type of paint to another is estimated to cost rupees 80 per batch. The annual sales of a particular grade of paint are 30,000 liters and the inventory carrying cost is rupees 1 per liter. Given that the rate of production is 3 times of the sales rate, determine the economic batch size. That means we have to find out the value of Q star, and for that we have to first find out the values of C1, R, K and C3, and we point out one by one, and from this theoretical point we have to point out some part, and so we get that values. First, look at this statement. The annual sales of a particular grade of paint are 30,000 liters, and that means it gives the rate of demand, that is R is equals to 30,000 liters per year. Then point out the statement that given that the rate of production is 3 times the sales rate. This is the sales rate. It's 3 times the rate of production. That means K is equals to 3 times sales rate. That means sales rate is 30,000. Therefore, obviously, production rate is 30,000 multiplied by 3, that is 90,000 liters per year. Then point out the statement that the change over from one type of paint to another is estimated to cost rupees 80 per batch. It gives the setup cost, that is C3. C3 is equals to rupees 80 per batch. Now just we have to find out the value of C1. For that, the inventory carrying cost is rupees 1 per liter. Therefore, C3 is equals to rupees 1 per liter. Now we know the values which we have to require for this, and just now put the values of Q star. The optimum lot size is equals to Q star is equals to under root of 2C3 Rk divided by C1 into K minus R. So substitute the values. After simplification of these values, we get the value of Q star as 2683.2815. Therefore, the number of batches per year is given by total demand is 30,000 divided by 2,000 683.2815, which gives 11.1803. That gives the total number of batches per year. That completes the problem. Now we solve one more example. Amit manufacturer 50,000 bottles of tomato ketchup in an year. The factory cost per bottle is rupees 5. The setup cost per production run is estimated to be rupees 90, and carrying cost on finished goods inventory amount to 20% of the cost per annum. The production rate is 600 bottles per day and sales amount to 150 bottles per day. What is the optimal production lot size and the number of production runs? Solution. Point out the term as sales amount to 150 bottles per day. That means that is the demand rate. That is given that R is equals to 150 bottles per day. That is the rate of demand. Then point out the term that the production rate is 600 bottles per day. That means K is equals to 600 bottles per day. That is rate of production. Then point out the statement that the setup cost per production run is estimated to be rupees 90. That means the value of C3, that is setup cost, is rupees 90 per production run. Now just we have to know the value of C1. For that, the factory cost per bottle is rupees 5 and the carrying cost on the finished goods inventory amount to 20% of the cost per annum. So the value of C1 is given by cost of bottle is 5, 20% of the cost per annum, so we multiply it by 20 by 100, and this value is per annum. We have to convert it in per day because the rate of production and rate of demand is per day. So to convert it into per day, we multiply it by 1 by 365. So we get the holding cost per day. And after simplification, it gives the value of C1 as 1 upon 365. Now we know all those values R, K, C1 and C3. Now just use the formulas to find out the value of optimum lot size and the number of production runs. So the value of Q star, that is optimum lot size, is given by Q star is equals to under root of 2C3 RK divided by C1 into K minus R. Now just substitute the values and simplify these numeric calculations. We get the value of Q star as 3624.9137 and which is approximately is equals to 3625, and the number of bottles per production run is 50,000 divided by 3625, that gives the that is equals to 13.79, approximately is equals to 14. Approximately is equals to 14, and that completes the example. These are the reference books for this lecture. I will take all these theoretical points and the examples from these 3 books. If you want some more information about this, you may read out these books. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, then please subscribe my YouTube channel Mathematics with Sachin for such and more interesting, more detailing videos on operation research, and also I will creating some more video lectures on some other parts of mathematics also. Please visit my channel and please subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video.